Hey y'all, so I just recorded this whole stinking thing and I'm gonna have to do it again because I forgot to break it into 2 points. Go me. All right, gives me a chance to do it again. So special forms and general factoring strategies. We're gonna start with the difference of perfect squares. Now, this is something you're gonna want to have, especially if you're moving on to college algebra trig. Those of you moving on to problem solving or statistics will not be using this hardly at all, if at all. Just heads up on that. But if you are taking college algebra trig in your next class, you need to understand this entire section, both videos, very well. Please keep that in mind. All right, so the difference in perfect squares, that means if you have a number that is squared minus the difference of another number that's squared, you can break it into these two forms, into these two binomials. So here's an example. You're going to take the first one, you take the square root. Well, if I can write this, square root of the first and the square root of the second or the last. You'll write that here and here, here and here, and then plus or minus. Now, I'll do an example with the next one, but one of the things you also need to understand after I do this one is the sum of two squares. Let's start with the factoring of the difference of two squares. It's got to have that difference, that subtraction piece. The square root of x squared is just x. The square root of 16, now remember, you can use your calculator if you don't know this. You've got a cute little square root right there if you're using TI-30X, X2S, or even if you have a graphing calculator. If you have the XA, I think you have the same thing. You're going to have to use second x squared to get to the square root. Put in 16 equals, and that is 4. Then you need a plus and a minus. Now, I said you need to understand the sum of two squares. As an example, I'll use x squared plus 4. Now, this cannot be factored. This is prime. You cannot factor this. This is as low as it can go. If you think, but Sandra, can't you go x, 2 and 2, plus and plus? No, because when you multiply these out, when you distribute this out, you're going to get x squared plus 4x plus 4. You cannot factor the sum of two squares, only the difference of two squares. Please make sure you note this, especially those going to 1590. You need to understand this is prime. This is factored as low as it'll go, but this can continue. Now for everyone, now that I've done that, I want you to pause the video, do them one at a time, and see how you do with the rest of these. If you could choose to do them all at once, cool. Just make sure that none of them have a greatest common factor that you can factor out, a like term or a like number that you can factor out before you move forward with the difference of two squares. Pause the video, come back, see how you did. So 9x squared minus 25y squared, they do not have anything in common. So I'm going to go at them because they are both perfect squares. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 25 is 5. The square root of y squared is y. And I am factored. Okay. If you didn't do the next one, please pause the video and attempt it and come back to see how you did. They do not have anything in common. It's the first thing I always check. Square root of x to the fourth is x squared. Square root of 1 is 1. I was going to put a box around this, but since I just did this whole stinking thing right before this, I now know that thinking through this is another difference of two squares. This is the sum of two squares. And like I just told you up here, this isn't factored. This is done. So that's part of your answer. Now you've got your other difference of two squares that we're going to factor. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 1 is 1. Now we are as low as we can go. If you missed the second factoring piece, please make note on your notes. Hey, don't forget to do this. Always check. Do we have a difference of two squares? Do we have a sum or difference of cubes? All those fun things. We haven't got there yet. All right. The next one, just a heads up, there is a greatest common factor you can factor out. So pause the video, go attempt this one yourself, and come back to see how you did. They both have 2 in common. 2 goes into 32 16 times. 2 goes into 2 once, so that leaves me with y squared. Now I've got the difference of 2 squares. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of y squared is y. Now I'm fully factored. As you're going through this, if there's anything you're still confused on, if I don't answer it in this video or the next, please message me. Let's meet up on Zoom. I'm happy to help you. Or in person, I don't care. All right, the next one is perfect square trinomials. This one's a little bit tougher to actually see, especially if you don't know your multiplication skills, because you don't necessarily know unless you can say, okay, is this a perfect square? Is this a perfect square? They both have to be perfect squares before you can do this. And I know that you've got, we did this the other direction when we had a binomial squared a few lessons ago. We also did this one where it was the difference of 2 numbers squared that gave us this answer. So this is where it's the square of the first, multiply them together and double it, square the last. Square the first, multiply them together and double it, square the last. We did this at least a couple of videos ago, but now we're going the opposite direction. Now we're factoring. So an example of what this looks like, you could, if you don't automatically see that this is a perfect square and this is a perfect square, you could just factor it normally. This comes into 3x and 3x, 1 and 1, and everything's positive. The other way is if you do see that both of these are perfect squares, square root of the first, square root of the last, everything's positive, put a cute little square up there, which is what this is. There's 2 of them. Same thing for this one. I would like for you to attempt this one yourself. It's the exact same thing. You're going to have a negative in the middle because it has a negative. Attempt this and come back to see how you did. Now, if you struggled with this, you can again break it into 2 parentheses. 2x, 2x, 5, 5. They're both negative. So 2x minus 5 squared. Whatever is easier for you. I just want you to understand that. This is an option. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about cubes. When you see the sum or the difference of 2 cubes. Now remember, you cannot factor the sum of 2 squares, only the difference of 2 squares, but you can factor the sum or the addition of 2 cubes and the difference of 2 cubes. But there is a formula you have to follow. There's a concept here, and it's not the same as the sum. You're going to end up with a binomial and a trinomial multiplied together, right? And I'll show you how to look at doing this. All right, so if it's the sum, that means your binomial is going to be added. If it's the difference, your binomial is going to have the subtraction. Okay, if it is addition, if it's the sum, remember your binomial is positive, your trinomial is going to have a negative for its middle term. If your binomial is subtracted, if it's the difference, your binomial is negative and your trinomial is completely positive. Do not expect you to memorize this. Put it on your note card. Make sure you support yourself in that way. If you don't have a note card, make one. Cut out a piece of paper that's 3 by 5. You can use both sides of it. Okay. Do this to support yourself for the exam, since I know several of you didn't use your note cards. All right, factor completely. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to start with doing the sum because this is the sum of 2 cubes. So we've got a binomial and a trinomial. It's the sum, so your binomial is positive. Your trinomial has a negative for the middle term and everything else is positive. All right. You have to take the cube root of x cubed, which is x, and the cube root of 64. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this with your calculator if you don't know what the cube root is, and I don't expect you to necessarily know that. So no matter which calculator you're using, you can do this exact thing no matter which calculator. You can type in 64 caret parenthesis 1 divided by 3 close and equal. Now, if you don't have the caret, if you've got the XA, you've got y to the x or x to the y that's over here. Make sure you're doing that. So write whatever you have for your exponent piece, because I'm not sure who has which calculator, but I'm going to do that. 64. I'm going to use caret. You'll use y to the x or x to the y if you have the XA. Open 1 divided by 3, close. If you don't use the parentheses, you're going to get 64 divided by 3. And that's not what we want. So 64 caret, open your parenthesis, 1 divided by 3, close and equals. And 4 is your answer you want. Now, if you instead don't want to do the power over root method, the 1/3, you have on your calculator, you have to find it. Get a little closer here. Notice how mine has like the little X with the square root symbol, the root symbol. Some of you might have an N. You need to look for it on your calculator. I know this is the TI-30X2S. There's also the graphing calculators have the same one as this one. If you're using the XA, you're going to have to see where it is. If you need help, let me know. So instead, I can type in my calculator 3. Then I have to hit the second key. I'm going to have to use my caret key to get there, to get to my X root. I'm just giving you the keys you're pushing. So 3, second, caret. We don't want to use the caret, but I want to get to that symbol there. And then you're going to type in 64 equals 3, second, caret to get to my root symbol, 64 equals. You should get the same thing as me. All right. So my third cube root is 4. Now to create my trinomial, I have to square my first term. Square the first. Multiply these two together. Don't double it. Just multiply both terms. And this has to do with your binomial. And then what goes here is the square. Square the last. 4 squared is 16. All right, that is the sum of two cubes. Difference is done the exact same way, but the only thing is different is your signs. This negative would be here, the positive would be here. Your binomial has to represent how the original sum or difference of two cubes looks. And then the trinomial has to have the sign that is opposite in the middle, right? So make sure you choose which one of these you want to do. Write it down, put it on your note card, support yourself. You've got resources you can use. Please do that. All right, let's go to the difference of two cubes. I want you to pause the video, attempt this one yourself, and then come back to see how you did. Okay. All right. I don't have anything in common here. So I'm just going to go into my binomial and trinomial. It's a subtraction, it's the difference. So difference for my binomial, everything in my trinomial is going to be positive. The cube root of 27, I'm going to use my 3 second caret 27 equals, and it is 3. Don't forget your y. Cube root of y cubed is y. Cube root of 1 is 1. Now, square the first, 9y squared. Multiply them together. 3y times 1 is 3y. And then square the 1. So square the last. The trinomial does not ever factor further. You're done. Okay. This one is just like the first one. Pause the video, attempt it yourself, and then come back to see how you did. They don't have anything in common. So binomial and trinomial, plus, minus, plus. The cube root, for this one, I'll do the 1/3 portion. So 125, caret, open, 1 divided by 3, close, equals. And this 5, don't forget your x. Cube root of x cubed is x. For 8, I'll do the opposite one, 3, second, caret, 8 equals, and that is 2. All right, for my trinomial, I square the 5x squared, so 25x squared, multiply 5x times 2, that's 10x, and then square the 2, which is 4. That's it. Trinomial does not factor further. Don't try it. It's not worth it. All right. For this next one, now this is going to add another layer to it. There is a greatest common factor in there. 128 and 250 are not perfect cubes. You can test it. So 128, caret, open 1/3, close, equals. When you go, say you don't remember to do the greatest common factor out. When you go to find the cube root, you're going to get a decimal. That doesn't mean it doesn't factor. It means that they have something in common that you need to factor out first before you can actually do the difference of two cubes or sum of two cubes. So once you get this is a sign to go back and say, okay, this is not a perfect cube. That means these two have something in common. I see that they're both even, so they both have 2 in common. My next step is always to say, well, do they have 3 in common? 8 plus 2 plus 1, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 isn't factored by 3, so 3 is not in common. So my next thing is, does it have 4 in common? 128 divided by 4 is 32. Ooh, what's 250 divided by 4? Well, it doesn't have 4 in common. So I can factor out a 2. And when I do that, I have 128 divided by 2 is 64, minus 250 divided by 2 is 125, y cubed. Now we have the difference of 2 cubes. I know they're cubes because 125's cube is 5, 64's cubed is 4. So I'm done with my calculator for now. So I'm going to do the difference of 2 cubes. Cube root of 64 is 4, minus cube root of 125 is 5, cube root of y cubed is y. Square the first, multiply them together, square the last. Don't forget your y squared. That is your factor. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what questions you have.